Joan, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. I'm super excited and super nervous to speak with you.
Well, I'm excited too. Don't you be nervous because I'm here for you. I'm going to walk you through it all. So what's going on?
Great, thanks. So I've been in my second career now for over 20 years, and I still have never found my sweet spot. So I just feel stuck and really want to get out of my current situation.
Okay. Tell me what's going on with this current situation.
Well, I love a lot of things about my job, or I like a lot of things about my job, but it's just stressful, long hours, and honestly, in my field, it's a great field, but I just never have felt like it was my fit, even though I've been in it so long.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
and just now it's gotten to the point it's just stressful. I'm in healthcare, and just with the requirement.
And we lost Joan. Okay, so this is not new. This idea that Joan is experiencing. This is going to be really interesting. So let me tell you, while they get her back on, let me tell you why I asked her what was going on right now. Because sometimes we find someone will call up and go, look, I'm not where I want to be, and they think it's career-wise or their role, and what we find is that's the environment. Now, I think Joan is dealing with both. I think we heard immediately that Joan's got a very stressful, maybe even toxic situation going on, and that's affecting her because she also told me that she likes a lot about her job. So we're going to dive into that. All right, so we got her back. So this is perfect. All right, so let's go back to Joan. Joan, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, great. So here's what I want. I was telling the audience why I asked you what's going on with this current thing before we talk about the dream job. Okay. So you're in a healthcare. Can you tell me what you do in healthcare?
I'm a home health physical therapist.
Okay, so home health physical therapist. And you also said there are a lot of things you like about it. I want to focus on the positive. What do you like most about it? When you said that, what is it?
Well, this goes to my passions. I like working with the elderly. And in home health, you do that. Most of our patients, or a lot of our patients, are elderly.
Sure.
So that is what I've enjoyed about physical therapy, because I do. I have a passion for working with them. I just feel like it's not clinically anymore.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So it's really you love serving the elderly. It's not the physical therapy piece with the elderly. It's just that here you are engaging with the elderly. Where does that come from? Where's that deep connection with taking care of the elderly come from?
I don't know. I think it may go back. I only had one a grandmother growing up, and I was just close to her, and I just enjoyed visiting with her. And
that's cool. I love it.
Yeah, just had a good relationship.
I was just curious about that. Okay, so.
And I also feel, if I interject, that, the part I like about my job and with them is just more visiting with them and hearing their stories and making them feel like they're still relevant or valuable.
I'm so glad you said that because I was getting ready to say, I don't think I have to walk you through Talent, Passion, Mission. I think you've been listening to the show.
I did do those.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks to you. I know. I finally figured that out. I just don't know where to go.
No, I'm jumping ahead.
Is an issue, I think. So.
Yeah, but hold on. Let's dive into that. That's what I think we need to do. But let's just define first how we want to serve the elderly, because the mission, who you want to help, problem you want to solve, solution you want to provide, that's what we've got to detail out. Did you get that detail? Because if it's the elderly, then it's like, okay, we know the people you most want to serve are the elderly. The question is, what's the problem or challenge they have that you want to solve? It's not their physical therapy. Sounds to me like it's because you said I like talking with them and visiting with them. So let's go. What did you write down when you did that exercise? What is the problem or challenge you most want to help the elderly with?
Well, I put two, but they might be kind of vague. But I kind of, like I said before, I want to improve seniors' lives and make them feel valued. And then kind of as a second, I'm not sure about this one, but keeping seniors safe and helping them to stay at home, which is what I do in part as a physical therapist. So I do like that part. But
okay, so improve their life was the first thing you said. Improve their life, and you said something else. I tried to write
making them feel valued. Like, I feel like, they may not feel like they have a purpose.
I agree.
And so,
okay, so, what is? I'm going to pause on this. What is so stressful about the current gig where you're going into their homes and doing physical therapy?
It's a lot of the external things that there's so much documentation now.
Yeah.
Like after clinical work, you're sitting for hours, and it's not predictable. Like it frustrates my husband because we can't really make plans after work because I don't know sometimes until that day if my day's going to be 8 hours or 12 hours. It just kind of depends on travel, documentation.
How much money do you make?
Well, actually, I'm working part-time, and I make about $80,000, so I get paid well, yeah.
Wow.
So it's hard, and I would like to try maybe, I plan on working full-time, but I'd like to try to equal that or maybe a little less, but we kind of right now need.
You need the 80.
Yeah, ideally, yes.
Okay, so so here's our challenge. It's not, you're okay doing the physical therapy with the elderly. You enjoy that, even though it's not just sitting and talking. There's the physical therapy piece that's not a negative, or do you not enjoy that?
Well, the other part is the thing I think with physical therapy through the years, I'm the type of person, I may help 9 out of 10 people, but I will focus on the one person that
you didn't help.
And I understand that you can't help everyone, but I just... Yeah. That's always been the case throughout, the 20 years.
But you know something? But that's a you problem, not a job problem.
I know.
So we can fix that.
Okay.
No, we can. We can fix it. I'll address that in a minute. So here's our unique challenge. It's the paperwork. And you would like to be more on the... So the paperwork's killing you, and then the physical therapy piece, there's just not much juice there.
Yeah, and I just honestly, of a certain age, I don't see myself doing this for another 10 years because it's physical and emotionally demanding. So,
so let me ask you this.
I feel like I need an exit plan.
You do, but what are we going to exit to?
I know.
Because you guys are needing to make 80, let's call it 70 to 80 for how much longer? 70 to 80 for how much longer?
My husband is really good at what he does, but he has a small business that's getting bigger and bigger. So I've just always in my mind said once that overtakes, I can...
How much longer before you think that's going to happen?
I don't know.
No,
maybe.
Come on. You guys are talking about this, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, we are. And
okay, so what are you thinking?
He's on board. Maybe 4 to 5 years.
Okay, well, you can't keep this up for 4 to 5 years. You'll go crazy. Am I right?
Right. And I'm just guessing that it could be, I don't know, 3 to 4, hopefully.
Okay, he's
good, and he's got good.
So you guys actually need to sit down and talk about this. Where does he project the business? You have to know this because he wants you out of this situation too. It's kind of cramping your relationship a little bit.
Yeah.
So here's where I'm going with this. I think you have to, there are 2 things I want you to do. Homework assignment number 1, I want you to do the research and go in the senior care industry. Let's just call it senior care. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What jobs are available in senior care that you don't have to go get a bunch of qualifications for? It might be something small, certification or something like that, or some training, but we're not talking about a lot of time or money, but that you're basically qualified to go do that doesn't require all this back-breaking paperwork. And doesn't have as much of a physical element. Maybe it's more of an emotional care. And any care that you're doing is not very physical in nature. I think you've got to really do your homework and go, what's out there? What does that pay? Because if you find 5 things, you go, well, they're all in the 60 range. At least we've got something to go off of. We go, okay, well, that's a $20,000 hit. What changes will we make until Hub's business gets to a point where, I wouldn't have to do it anyway. Okay. But you've got to start with some real details. Second homework assignment. You still with me?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second homework assignment. You and your hub's got to sit down and you guys got to go, what does he think the company's going to do? What kind of revenue? How's that going to grow to where he could do because you guys own the business, correct?
Yes.
So, you can talk to your accountant on this. Say, I talked to Ken Coleman. He wanted us to call you. Talk to your accountant, the CPA, or whoever does your company's books. What kind of stock dividends could they give? Could you guys give you as an owner over the next 3 to 4 years, which maybe helps supplement some of this. So if you do take something that pays you 60, but the company pays you a $20,000 dividend, you guys got to actually get in there and go, what's the money look like for this business, and how could we begin to supplement some of that income so you can make a move? Are you still with me?
I am, yeah.
Any questions about what I just said?
No, I have done some research, and I actually have started applying to some positions. I should have told you that, but
Okay, good.
I'm not hearing that. I know I have your proximity principle.
Yeah.
I have been trying to employ that, but I'm
Okay,
not
good.
100% sure it's a great fit what I've applied to, but they do hire therapists, and it's kind of a non-clinical role. But
Great. But here's the deal. Okay, so you are doing this. That's good news.
Yeah.
So my advice still applies. I'm reminding you and confirming what you're already doing is the good move. You've got to get this paperwork crap out of your life. It's sucking your soul out.
It is.
I know. And you want to begin to move away from the physical piece as well. Okay? But you and Hub's got to figure out that second piece I gave you, that second homework assignment. I think that could really encourage you. And then I got a third idea just for you and your husband to talk about after you do homework assignment number 2. I just wonder if you don't start to maybe work for his company in some capacity to give yourself a break, get out all that paperwork, and you begin to think about the next season being how you serve the elderly from a volunteer side of things, maybe even a small side business where you provide services to the elderly that you've kind of always thought about. Because I know deep down you've thought about, how would I serve the elderly if money didn't matter? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Write that down today. Before you go to bed, that's your last homework assignment. Write down all the ways that you would serve the elderly if money didn't matter. Making them feel valued, which, by the way, the greatest way to make a person feel valuable, whether you're a senior citizen or a child, is to show them how valuable they are to you. You just treat them like they're valuable, and that gives them value. They don't have to have a piece of work that they can do. That's always wonderful. But as a senior citizen, they just want to know that they're valuable, that they aren't on the waiting line to go to eternity. You know, they're not just sitting around waiting for their moment to come. And it's not as hard as you think to show someone value. It's just treat them as though they're valuable, because they are. I want you to make a list of those things and figure out how you do that. I think we've got enough strategy points here for you to walk through that you're going to figure out the next steps. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right. Thank you so much for what you do. I love that you have a heart for the seniors out there. You know, my father used to say, my dad's a pastor, so he has a way with words. He used to say all the time when I was a kid growing up, he'd say, young people, and he would look out there, you know, in the audience, and he'd say, make sure that you are spending time, he'd call them senior saints. And he said, these are the men and women with the snow of many winters upon their head. And that's a Native American saying. It's a beautiful way of saying that gray hair is a sign of experience. That's what the Native Americans said, the snow of many winters. It just simply means they've experienced a lot of years. And that sign of experience is that gray hair. And, you know, I'm just reminded by this call with Joan that some of the most valuable lessons that I learned were taking my father's advice and befriending and sitting with men and women who were many years older than me. I just think that it's a healthy reminder for you youngsters out there, your teens, your 20s, even your 30s. Hello, your 40s. I'm in my 40s. I'm 46. Successful women and men in their 70s that are 76, I need to be talking to them because I've got lots of opinions about things they've already experienced. And an experience is at least 10 times more valuable than an opinion. Let me say that again. For all you youngsters out there, write this down and think about this today. A man or woman with an experience is so much more valuable than a man or woman with an opinion. We could shut the show down. That right there is so good. I don't even have to do more of the show, but we're going to keep doing it. But that's really, really good. And for those of you facing big life decisions, and you're all stirred up and you don't know what to do, why don't you go find somebody with some gray hair who's made those decisions and live through it? I'll always take experience over an opinion.